My name is Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as EvilTwin2. You can find show notes on the blog at owlknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can find our Ravelry group if you search Ravelry for owlknitwithyou, or you can email me at owlknitwithyou@gmail.com. Got them all. How are you guys? What is new? Did you have a good week? I feel like my week was pretty good. The new station I'm at did the Ice Bucket Challenge, and I got to make some promos for that. Oh, by the way, we have no new fronts this week, which makes me really, really sad. So if you have not gone to Ravelry and joined the group yet, go join the group and introduce yourself in the introduction thread. It can be as simple as a 2-letter word hi, and I'll go and look at your profile page and probably comment on something. So I'm just like that. Now, for those of you who are a member of the group in Ravelry, there's a few things that you can participate in. One is Strut Your Puffs, where you show off any Hexie Puffs that you've made. Personally, I love Hexie Puffs. I love Hexie Puffs. There is the Hey, I'm a podcaster thread, where if you do a podcast, come tell me about it. I would love to know who else does podcasts in our group, and I love to go and watch them. It's fun. And you get to sample a lot of stuff without having to go through YouTube and search knitting podcasts, because you don't always find what you're looking for. And there's also right now the I Need a Knit Companion giveaway. So to enter, you probably need to have an iPad, because the code that you're going to get is for an iPad app of this program. And I talked in length about it last week, but basically what it does is it lets you navigate your knitting patterns through PDF versions, and you can sort out charts, and it'll keep your place for you and keep your place on charts, and you can zoom in and zoom out, and it's super, super helpful. I don't print out my stuff anymore because I use all of my knitting patterns in within that app, because I can just save where I'm at, and it's so nice. So go check that out if you haven't checked it out. All you have to do is comment about why you need a Knit Companion, and then in a month, so September 18th-ish, because I started last week, I will announce a winner and send your information to the Knit Companion company, and they will send you a promo code. So don't forget to enter into those. Anyway, we did the Ice Bucket Challenge this week, and I made some fun promos for that, so that was exciting. And aside from that, I got a lot of stuff knit-wise in the mail this week. I got more yarn for my guinea cardigan. I actually went back and bought another skein of the 2 darkest colors for my 3-in-1 cardigan that I'm going to be knitting this fall. And I also got something else, but you'll have to wait till my stash to see what that is. This episode is probably going to be really short. I have not heard from the winner of the Weird Stories contest who won the book. So if you're not sure if that's you or not, go back and listen to my last few episodes. I mentioned you at least twice. The last episode is the beginning, so you can just go through that really quick if you want to see if it was you. I found out something pretty clever this week. If you knit with interchangeable needles and you find that the cables are too long or always just flying all over the place, you can secure them with a bobby pin. So let me show you. I just put a bobby pin on the cable so that it wouldn't be sliding around all the time, because these are really hard to keep the way they are, and I'm sure this could go down instead of pointed up like this. And then, you know, this will fit in my notions bag a whole lot easier than an uncoiling cable is. I've been knitting my guinea cardigan with a lot of different lengths of cables, and so that was a huge problem I was having, is they were just everywhere, and I couldn't get them to stay small. They just wanted to spring apart and be all over the place. So, other works in progress, my whips. I have not really knit anymore on my socks for 10 this week, which makes me really sad. But it's because I was working on something else a whole lot more. I have been knitting like crazy on my guinea cardigan, and ooh, there's still a ball of yarn attached. But we have the first button band with buttonholes, and we have the second button band, hold on, with my buttons. Yay! Isn't it awesome? Now, I special ordered these buttons, and I'm sure if you look at my projects page, I tell you who they're special ordered by. But I actually asked her, I was like, this is what I'm doing. Can you make me some special buttons? So I'm going to zoom in on these awesome, awesome buttons. And I will also probably put the name of the person who made me these buttons on Etsy on the bottom of my screen. Or your screen, really. Ah. So there are lightning bolts, because Harry Potter was the boy who lived. And there are also, sorry, hold on. Deathly Hollows. So those are the two buttons that I had special made, and I have 4 of each button and they alternate. So super, super, super exciting stuff. They work great. They're fantastic buttons, and she made a couple different ones and let me pick which Harry Potter buttons I like the most that she made me. So these work great. So I went ahead and buttoned it up so you guys can see what it looked like, all buttoned up. And the last things I have left to do, the things I have left to do are the neckband, which is about halfway done, and front pockets. So, and then I'm trying to get this done for the first for the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup. And that means on the first month of term, which will be September 1st, you turn in something that you had been, that was started before this month. So, and that goes into detention because it's something you're still working on, you're a little behind on. It is what it is. So, here it is all buttoned up, looking awesome. And in case you didn't remember, here is the beautiful back of it. This is my first time putting buttons on a sweater. I have done some buttons before on some baby clothes that I have made. So I was already familiar with the process, but I went ahead and looked up the video, and I will link to the video that I like to use because it's super easy to see what's going on and super, super, super helpful. I was really nervous about sewing buttons on anything until I did this, so this is great. And for me, being a girl with good endowments, it doesn't gape anywhere. The Knit Girls talk about the most important button, or the non-negotiable button, and it's basically, ladies, for those of you who are well enough endowed, putting a button at the furthest point out in the center of that. So that for me is about right here. So that is where one of my buttons sits. And that's actually the first button that I decided where it was going to go. And then after that, I arranged the rest of the buttons around that button, because that's literally the most important button. My sleeves are nice and tight. The top is really loose. That's not a bad thing. I just should have made my sleeves a little bit looser. It had you do some increasing for the busts on one side, but mine sits like here instead of here. I think I knit longer because I was worried the torso was going to be too short, and it's actually a little bit long. So I should have trusted the pattern a little bit more. But overall, I'm super pleased. I think it's going to be really comfortable and warm, and it's just in time for fall and all that goodness. I think it'll look really cute with a brown sparkly cardigan, or maybe even just a t-shirt, maybe just to, you know, hang out in and stuff. But should have that done maybe by the next time I talk to you guys, maybe the week after that, because it'll be pretty close. But yeah, because the next time I talk to you guys will be Friday, because I'm gone this weekend. And so it'll be the week after that when you get to see the finished version. But this sweater has been, I don't know, it just felt like it took a really long time, but I'm really happy with where it's at now. So just keep going. The only real FO I have for you is an itty bitty little swatch. I went ahead and swatched for the sweater, the 3-in-1 sweater. I'm going to make these with the darker colors as well, and maybe also the yellow, just to make sure it all goes okay. This swatch has been washed. It's about 1/2 inch too big in every direction. So I might go down needle size for my next swatch and see how that goes. But I also really wanted to see how I liked these colors together. And since I went and bought more of the dark gray, because this is the light gray, and the dark red, I might do a dark gray, light gray with this, and do a light gray, dark gray for the red swatch as well. And you'll see more of that as it goes, so you can understand it a little bit better. But this will hopefully be my OWL for the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup, which is a 3-month long project. And when you're doing, you know, basically 3 sweaters in one, that totally makes sense, right? So, excited how this is going. I still have yet to pick out my buttons for that, but we'll get there when we get there. I don't have any spinning this week for you guys. If you can't tell, I'm trying to like hold back the crafting for whenever the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup starts back up, which is September 1st. And it'll run September, October, November, and then December is off. And then it'll go January, February, March, and then April will be off. And then it'll go May, June, July, and on and on and on. So, hopefully, I mean, I've got a lot of stuff like ready to go. I've been making lists for Christmas presents and who should get what and what things I can make for name drawing things. Like I can make hats for girls or hats for boys, and I don't need to know who that's going to be knit for quite as much as like a pair of socks. I've also considered knitting socks for Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup that don't have heels in them, because I actually knit my first sorry, I just blanked out. My first sock of my socks for 10, I knit without a heel. And I added a heel afterwards and it was a little bit more comfortable, but I honestly, if I didn't know it was supposed to be that way, I wouldn't have noticed. So I might be able to knit some tube socks for family. And don't have to worry if it's gonna fit their heels or not, because that's kind of hard. I can't even get my own heel right, so that's just how it is. Other things I've been up to though, I have been doing a Craftsy class. I actually started yesterday. I'm doing the Know Your Wool by Deborah Robson. I think that's how you say her name. I think she also wrote the Fleece and Fiber source book. I've been thinking about doing a Craftsy class for a while, and this one is free. Fibertown had mentioned it on one of her recent-ish podcasts. I'm still really behind on podcasts. And she was like, oh yeah, this class is free on Craftsy, or at least it used to be, and I was like, I need to go check that out. So I did, and it's just helping you understand more about staple length and wool and crimp and all that good stuff. And in the future, I would like to buy and process a fleece, and it's kind of terrifying, and it's not anything I'm ready to do quite yet. So I just want to understand more about all of that. I've also found a lot of other free Craftsy classes that I really can't wait to check out. So if you hear me talking about this a lot, just, it's exciting and it's easy. It's like watching a 2-minute YouTube video and the next chapter starts. If you want to keep going, you can, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. And since the ones that I like are free, just as good. I'm holding a business card in my hand. So that's fun. If you want to know more about different fiber types, Know Your Wool is a free Craftsy class. Pretty easy. I would probably link to that in the show notes just so you can find it, because I'm helpful like that. I'm a little like not very wired and a little sleepy right now, so kind of like meh. I don't have as much energy as I had last week when I was fueled by caffeine. I'm still adjusting to my new sleep schedule, and so I try to go to bed before midnight. When you are used to getting off work and not going to bed till like 2 in the morning, it's just so hard to convince yourself that it's okay to go to sleep before midnight, which seems weird, but it is really difficult. But anyway, so one thing that I'm looking forward to knitting, and this is part of mustache. Wait, there we go. Mustache, mustache, mustache. So one thing I really want to do this next term in the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup is knit a lot of the charms from the Care of Magical Creatures charm bracelet that is done by Tiny Owl Knits. And I don't want to do it as a charm bracelet because I really honestly wouldn't wear that. I don't wear bracelets often anyway, because when I'm typing, my wrists are usually sitting on the desk or whatever, and bracelets just aren't very comfortable for me in my line of work. So I would like to do them maybe slightly bigger as ornaments for our Christmas tree, and then have this adorable little knitted Christmas tree of like funky creatures and stuff. So I was in the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup forums, and you know how Ravelry has those kind of like targeted ads, like, hey, you're doing this, you'll probably like this stuff. Well, they said, you know, hey, get all the yarn for all 3 sets from Mermaid Knitting. So that's what I did. So I got a bunch of mini skeins from Mermaid Knitting, and it is all of the mini skeins that I will need to knit all the different creatures for the charm bracelets. So I was gonna buy each individual skein from Knit Picks, and it was gonna be like probably over $60 because it uses like 1.5 million colors. But instead I paid $25 for this and got all my skeins for $12. And like this one will say bark 12 yards, but then it tells you like where the original yarn is from. But the color listed in the Care of Magical Creatures is based on the Knit Picks colorways for their palette yarn, so that would be bark in that one. This one is called Almond, so that's probably almond in the Knit Picks colorway. You know, there's Heather and Tarragon, but they're also dyed slightly differently. Like this one has lots of little pops. You have to zoom in on time. So palette is mostly full of solid colors, and these are very much not solid colors. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that works with what they needed to be knit with. So a lot of creatures use similar colors, like a frog might be this green, and so might a piece of a tree, or what have you. And so I'm excited to see how that works out for all the different colors and all the different creatures. Here's some more. And she also sells sets of mini skeins that you can buy for if you do a Hexie Puff blanket or whatever. I might actually go back and get some more because you get... I'm dropping stuff. You get so many colors for $25, and she also does like coordinating colors. She does gradients and all sorts of really cool stuff. So I think I might go back there and get some more for my Hexie Puff blanket if I'm gonna make specific puffs that do color working, which is something I wouldn't mind getting into. Or you can also do like little bits for a shawl, like a small shawl or a hat. You can do a gradient for a hat. There are a lot of really cool sets that she has, and I think she's got some full skeins too, but she mostly focuses on sets of mini skeins, which is a really, really interesting concept. So I'm excited to try this out and see how these all look. I have tried to knit the frog from the Care of Magical Creatures set 1 charm bracelet, and it was less knitting and more knotting the yarn in specific ways to make it do things. So I might start with a more flat piece of something and try and get the hang of how it works first. And if you don't know about the Care of Magical Creatures charm bracelets, I picked the longest like words that go together ever. It's kind of like a badge system. So like the Girl Scouts have badges that they have to earn by doing things. So this works in the same, I'm looking around to see if I've got it on my desk, but I don't see it. This works in the same way. So the frog, to get the frog, you had to learn a new skill. And for me that was spinning, which I learned last July. So over a year ago, I wanted to start making this bracelet. And I still haven't done it, which is crazy. So I'm going to start doing that soon. And I mean, I've got all the yarn now, which really, really helps. Because that was holding me back before. It's okay, it's all on my floor. It's not going to go anywhere. So look forward to seeing lots of zoomed up close stuff. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll figure it out. But I think that's really all I have today. I mean, you know, it's kind of short, but sorry, I'm dropping all of these. But I really haven't gotten much done this week. I watched the new Doctor Who episode from season 8, and I started watching Outlander last night, so I've seen episode 1 of that. The new season of Haven is on Netflix. I've been watching that, and I cleaned my room. So I'm doing a lot of stuff in preparation for September when I can start knitting for points again. Is that terrible? And I've been doing a lot with my cardigan too. So I'm looking forward to kind of having that drive, and it feels like, what's the point of knitting something now when I can prepare for it and then in a month get points for it? I don't know. Might as well wait. So whether you're in the Harry Potter Knit Crochet Cup or you knit no matter what because you want to knit, dadgummit. I'm Rebecca, also known as Evil Twin 2, and I'll knit with you.